Bakit ka po tayo ang gumagawa ng isang bagay na ginagawa ng Commission on Audit? We cannot encroach upon ourselves the mandate proposed to the Commission on Audit. Hindi po natin pwedeng kunin yun. Wala silang mga isagot. So I asked the Commission on Audit. Sila yung tinanong ko, can you surrender your authority and mandate to the House of Representatives? No, sir. Is there any other office aside from you who can make the audit? None, sir. O bakit nyo binigay ngayon sa committee? What happened? Kasi po sinagpi na kami. Dahil sinagpi na ka ng House Committee, sumunod ka naman. Bakit hindi ka nag-object? Why did you not write back the House of Representatives? The former president was arrested, detained, and then eventually flown back to the Netherlands. Bilang isang abogado po, sinasabi ko sa inyo, mali po lahat ang nangyari.
Yeah! Wow! Kalala pa doon ito galing Manila. Yes. Yun. On! Yun. Wow, thank you so much. Please.
Mayong gabi. Nagpunta po ako rito dahil sa imbitasyon na aking natanggap, Green Rise Movement. Importante po sa akin ito kahit napakalayo ng Davao at napakarami po ng aming sorties sa Luzon. Pero kailangan po na makarating din ako para makapag-participate din ako sa event na ginagawa natin ngayong gabi. It is very important to me to express my side on what is happening to our country today. Kasi po bilang isang abogado, naiintindihan ko naman ang mga proseso ng batas. Hindi po tama ang maraming bagay na ginawa ng House of Representatives at ng ating pamahalaan. Unang-una na po, yung impeachment na nangyari sa ating Vice President. I question the impeachment on 2 grounds. Yun pong ebidensya na kanilang pinagsama-samang ipunin ay hindi naaayon sa aming proseso. I told the committees, this is not the way to investigate the utilization of public funds. The House of Representatives was not given the responsibility to make the audit of funds. There is only one single office of the government that was reposed by the Constitution to do the audit, to do the examination of all reports relative to the public funds utilization. Ito lamang po yung Commission on Audit. Nobody else. The only mandate and authority to audit resides in the COA, not in the House of Representatives. Sinabi ko po sa kanila, ito pong audit na ginagawa sa Office of the Vice President is only a starting point. There is no conclusion yet. It is only audit observation memo. There is no findings yet. Ang totoo niyan, sabi ko, kahit na itong audit observation memo will transition into a notice of disallowance. The notice of disallowance is still assailable. It is appealable. Bakit ka po tayo ang gumagawa ng isang bagay na ginagawa Commission on Audit. We cannot encroach upon ourselves the mandate reposed to the Commission on Audit. Hindi po natin pwedeng kunin yun. Wala silang pang isagot. So I asked the Commission on Audit. Sila yung tinanong ko, can you surrender your authority and mandate to the House of Representatives? No, sir. Is there any other office aside from you who can make the audit? None, sir. O bakit nyo binigay ngayon sa committee? What happened? Kasi po sinagpi na kami. Dahil sinagpi na ka ng House Committee, sumunod ka naman. Bakit hindi ka nag-object? Why did you not write back the House of Representatives? You cannot take away this responsibility from us. This is ours. You have nothing to do with this. Bakit hindi kayo sumagot? Takot po sila. Ito po yung nangyayari. So, if the audit of the COA is not even final and executory, it is even appealable to the Supreme Court. Bakit yung audit na ginawa ng House of Representatives became final and it was utilized as the means to impeach the Vice President? Wala na po sa hulo. Wala na pong rule of law. So sa galit po nila sa akin, tinanggal lahat ako sa aking mga committees. Inuparan ako. Wala na akong committees ngayon. Nakakala nila, matatakot nila, o akala nila, hindi na ako magsasalita. Pati po yung position ko sa Commission on Appointments, tinanggal din sa akin. Pati po yung mga binibigyan nila ng mga ayuda na pinamimigay ko rin sa ating constituents, tinanggal din nila. Pati po yung inisyo kong mga guarantee letters para pampagamot sa mga kababayan nating mahirap, tinanggal din nila. Sabi ko, bakit? Pinarusahan nyo na nga ako, pati nga yung allowance ko, tinanggal nyo na. So pinarusahan, okay lang sa akin yun. Pero sana, huwag na ninyong kunin itong guarantee letters kasi para sa mga taong mahihirap ito. Pampagamot nila doon, pambili nila ng gamot, pang-hospital, kinuha pa ninyo. Ganyan na po ang nangyayari. So I questioned also the manner under which the former president was arrested, detained, and then eventually flown back to the Netherlands. Bilang isang abogado po, sinasabi ko sa inyo, mali po lahat ang nangyari. Yung warrant of arrest, hindi naman po pinakita sa dating Pangulong Duterte. Ipinakita po sa cellphone. Hindi po ganun. Ang sabi po nila, nakipag-coordinate daw ang Interpol. But I did not see any representative of the Interpol. I was expecting that the representative of the Interpol should have surfaced at siguro inabot niya yung warrant of arrest nung kay General Torre. Wala. Wala. The representative, the local counterpart of the Interpol in this country is the Philippine Center on Transnational Crimes. It is headed by a former general. Dapat yun po ang nagpakita, dala-dala sana yung warrant of arrest. There was none. And then, base na rin po dun sa provision ng ICC. Kahit na po na-aresto na, palagay mo, may inaresto na ng Pangulong Duterte. Under Article 59 of the Rome Statute, sinasabi po doon, the arrested person must be delivered promptly to the competent judicial authority. Ang ibig sabihin po, dadalhin sana sa korte kung sino man ang naaresto. And in this case, the former president was arrested. But he was not delivered to any judicial authority. He was delivered doon sa military base, the Billiamore Air Base. Why is it necessary that he should have been promptly delivered to the court? Because only the court can determine the three things required under that article of the Rome Statute. Number one, the court should determine whether or not the warrant of arrest applies to the arrested person. Number two, whether the processes were observed in serving the warrant of arrest. Number three, whether or not the rights of the arrested person were respected. There was no determination because he was simply whisked to a Billiamore Air Base. That is not a court. Maling-mali po lahat. Arbitrarily arrested, arbitrarily detained, arbitrarily flown to the Netherlands. Meron din po tayong local law, Republic Act 9851. Under that law, even assuming that the ICC has jurisdiction, the person should be arrested in accordance with the domestic law. The domestic law is the Philippine law. Dahil wala na tayong pakialam sa ICC because we have withdrawn from the ICC since 2019, dapat ang sinunod ay yung batas ng Pilipinas. Hindi rin nasunod. There is also the principle of complementarity. Ano po ang ibig sabihin nun? The ICC can only intervene in our local affairs if the courts are unwilling or unable to function. That is the condition. There was no determination that our judicial system is ineffective or is unable to function or is unwilling to function. There was no such determination. What happened then? Parang ininsulto nila ang kabuuan ng judicial system sa ating bansa. From the lowest court, municipal trial court, up to the highest tribunal of this country, the Supreme Court, the judicial system was insulted. Just like that. Hindi dapat mangyari sa ating bansa. Our country withdrew from the Rome Statute on May 17, 2018. 1 year later, that withdrawal took effect. 2.5 years after the effectivity of that withdrawal, the stupid prosecutor of the ICC asked for permission to investigate. That was a fatal mistake. There is a distinction between the existence of jurisdiction and the exercise of that jurisdiction. I think the legal team of President Duterte should capitalize on that mistake taken by that ICC prosecutor. That is the pivotal issue. That was the pivotal issue. Alam po ninyo, masakit din sa loob ko eh. Alam ko, lalong-lalo na sa inyong lahat. Hindi lang kayong nalulungkot. Sa akin palagay, nagsisikip ang dibdib nyo sa galing. Hindi dapat nangyari ito sa isang Pilipino, lalong-lalo na kung ang Pilipino yun ay dating Pangulo ng ating bansa. Kung sakali lang naman, may kasalanan talaga si Pangulong Duterte. Meron po tayong mga batas sa ating bansa. Yun po yung sinasabi namin. Bakit kailangan usigin siya? Bakit kailangan litisin siya? At hatulan pa sa ibang bansa ng isang hukuman na hindi na natin kinikilala sa ngayon?